What's up, man?
Yo, Brandon.
What's up, dude?
Dude, what the fuck is going on, man? Holy shit, man. We just got done blasting fucking Scorpio, man. Killer track, dude.
Yeah, dude. 8.5 minutes of, well, we try to make it pure badassery, so.
It is, man. Eight fucking minutes of total fucking shred, thrash metal fucking mania, dude. What the fuck, man? How do you fucking play that fucking fast, dude?
I don't. It's honestly, I think it's just something you either got it or you don't. I mean, you can practice it all you want to, but I wish Doc and Dwayne were with me. They'd tell you all about it. But man, we practice our asses off for sure.
Well, you guys got it, man. Fuck, man, you fucking tearing it up, dude. I can't wait to see you guys live at the fest, man. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited to play it. That's for sure.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So tell everybody, man. Give us all a little brief history on the band. Tell us, how did you get started and how long you been doing this?
Man, so personally, I had the intention to start this band probably a good 5 or 6 years ago at this point. And honestly, it took a good 4 years to find, and we don't have a live bass player yet. I do the bass tracks, but just the two guys I have with me now, man, this lineup, it's taken probably 4 years to find. But dude, we've been playing live now for about 2 years, and we're getting a lot of traction, and I'm having a blast doing it, man. It's like, it's all paying off. So, and this is just the beginning, man. It's like, I think about it, it's like 5 or 6 years, man, have gone by, but dude, it's definitely worth it. And it just feels like we're just starting out still. But man, I just love the support we're getting for it too, as well.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I mean, it's fucking well deserved, man, because you guys are fucking kicking ass and taking fucking names, dude.
Yep, man. It's go big or go home with us, dude. That's for sure. Like when we hit the stage, dude, if at the end of it we don't feel like we're going to pass out, then we didn't do it right.
You know what? I can tell that from looking at your fucking at your live videos, man. Because I was going to tell you, like, when me and Raven are looking at all the fucking submissions that are coming through, man, we look at thousands, dude. Fucking, it's ridiculous, but it's always like one of the biggest fucking factors in the whole thing, man. It's like, well, let's see what the band looks like when they're on stage somewhere playing live. And when we were watching some videos of you guys, man, that are on YouTube, you're just fucking going nuts, man. Fucking head banging, jumping around, just thrashing, man, just going nuts the whole time, just full fucking bore, dude. And like no stops. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about right there, man.
Well, what you're seeing, dude, is like I said, it took a very long time, but that's just how much it means to me and the rest of the guys too, dude. Is we've worked this hard for it, we'll be damned if we don't give it our all on stage, So,
yeah, because that's really where it counts, right?
Yeah, man. Well, that's the thing is I tell people, like, we can stand up there and play the songs, but dude, people want to see a show. Like, if they want to just hear the songs, they can listen to our Spotify account. When they see us, dude, I want to make sure that we give them something they don't forget. Like, I want them to be like, okay, those guys, yeah, they're doing something. Like, I just want people to feel that.
Hell yeah. Well, tell us about, like, some of your influences, man. Like, what kind of, what bands, are... What were some of the bands that really got you into doing what you do and brought you to where you are now, man?
So, just because I told the guys I'd answer some of the questions for them as well. I'll start with the drummer, Dwayne. He likes Pantera. He's real big into like death metal, like fast death metal. I mean, he has the feet, man, I mean, he can go so fast, like, and it's not just the speed, but it's how long he can do it for. That's a big thing. That's why I love playing with him is his duration. He just doesn't quit. You look back at him and he's sweating like crazy, dude, but he just keeps going. I was like, all right, man, you're in, but some Pantera death metal for him. Heck, he brings up, I told him I'd bring it up in the interview, but he's a big Tupac fan. He just wants me to bring up Tupac every time. I was like, bring up Tupac. All right, dude, I'll do that. And then we got Doc. Now I love Doc because he's an 80s thrash head like me. And so that's why we have that chemistry on guitar. He likes Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Exodus, I know he likes a lot of. Just all the old school 80s thrash bands. And same here with me, dude, is my big thing, I'll say this. I picked up a guitar because of AC/DC, but Megadeth made me want to start a band. Let's put it like that. So you can thank Megadeth for putting in my mind the reason to start a band.
I can definitely see that, man. I can definitely see that. You know, that's funny. Like, that's one of the things that I told Raven, too. I was like, you know what? That dude kind of reminds me of a young fucking Dave Mustaine, man. No shit.
Now, I want to say right off the bat, man, there will never be another Dave Mustaine, and the last thing I want to do is seem like a copycat of somebody. Yeah. But no, I only bring that up because so many people say I look like somewhat like Dave Mustaine, and I sound like him a little bit, and my guitar playing is there. And dude, I love it. I love when people say that, like, because that, that's like, I've never met him personally, but his playing and, the band he started, like, he really inspired me to do this. So, but I tell people every time, I'm like, someday though, I'll have my own signature sound, and when you hear me, like, you'll know it's me, you'll know it's Crazy Mad Ride, right off the bat.
Hell yeah.
That's kind of what we're doing, finding our signature sound right now.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, speaking of that, I did want to ask you, like, do you guys play any cover songs, man? Do you cover any of those bands that you're influenced by? Yeah,
so we're going to. We love our originals, man. We just try to stick our originals anywhere we can. So, like, I mean, we'll get to the point where, like, if we have an hour show or hour plus show, we'll throw some Metallica in there. We're working on. We'll put in some Megadeths at some point in there. But right now, man, any chance we get with rehearsals and stuff, we are writing songs and working on the songs that are written to perfect them for this upcoming record. The EP we actually already have set to release with the label we're working with, but they're making sure the art for the album and everything, they're making sure that when it releases, it's an explosion. Like, we don't want to not take our time with that and it not be the best it can be. So they're just taking their time, we're taking our time, and while they're doing that, we're continuing to build the album.
Fuck yeah, man. What songs by those bands do you guys cover?
So I know we can do Metallica, Seek and Destroy.
Oh shit.
And the Megadeth songs we don't have down yet. We're actually still, for the covers, man, we're still talking like which ones we want to do, because here's the thing, man, there's so many Megadeth songs that are just so good. Like, we might do Holy Wars, or we might do Symphony of Destruction, or and those are two very different songs, very different grooves. It's just we'll learn those at some point down the road, man. Definitely we'll definitely learn something. But I know the drummer, he likes Pantera, the song Domination, so we'll probably learn that one. I think that one, I'm not gonna lie, that one is, it's just groovy. It has one of the best breakdowns in metal history, man.
Fuck yeah, dude. Man, if you guys played that at the fest, dude, people would fucking lose their shit, man. I'm not telling you what to do or anything, but I'm just saying, man, fucking.
Yeah, I know, man, and I would, dude. I would, but at the fest we have, 30 minutes, right, to play? Is it 30 minutes?
I don't know. You'd have to. Raven knows all that shit, man.
I think it was 30 minutes. Well, so just the time I remember, I know this. The time that was said that we were given, we're just going to play our full EP. That's the plan, because the plan is to have the EP out before that. So for all we know, there's no set date yet for the EP, but for all we know, it might be like an EP release party for us,
Oh, that's fucking awesome, man. Hell yeah, dude. And you guys just signed a record deal too, man. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we signed to a record label called Slip Trick Records. I actually know of one other local band that we know of. We played a show with that has signed to them too, and I actually approached them. I'm like, hey, are these guys legit and all that? And they are. We're talking that they respond back. There hasn't been any red flags or anything. So we're really excited. Like, we got the contract all revised and everything and signed, and like I said, they're just doing the album artwork right now, and just getting this EP ready, and then they're gonna distribute it for us.
Fuck yeah, man, that's badass. So it will definitely be a fucking party for sure, man.
Oh, dude, it is, man. And one of the bands I'm really glad that you guys picked up was Tombstone Blue, dude. Those
Hell
guys are
yeah.
and one hell of a hang too. So
You guys know them?
yeah, we played a show with them in Atlanta at some point. Yeah, dude, yeah, we've played before, and they're really cool guys. So I'm glad you guys picked them up. I'm glad we get to play another show with them.
That is so cool, man. I love it whenever that kind of shit happens too, man, because it just makes it even that more cooler, you know, like.
Oh, yeah, you guys have a great system of choosing bands, dude. Because these bands that you guys have, they're not rinky-dink bands, dude. They're not. It's I see. I'm pretty avid about following metal pages, like big metal pages on Facebook and all that, and any like digital flyers I see for shows. And I'm not talking. They're not small text, but a lot of the names that are on the festival that you guys have going on, they're the big names on these digital flyers. So I'm like, okay, so they got the big name guys coming to the festival.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Yeah. Casket Robbery, man. They just fucking played at Milwaukee fucking Metal Fest, dude. They've been tearing it up. And Summoner Circle, man, fucking going crazy. Fucking, as a matter of fact, I was at Walgreens getting something for Raven, and the lady at the register saw my shirt because I was wearing the Tennessee Metal Devastation Music Fest shirt from last year, and she was like, "Is that all death metal?" And I was like, "No, it's all kinds of fucking genres, but there is, there's a bunch of death metal there too." And she's like, "Well, I'm good friends with somebody that played there last year." And they went on to play Europe, and they've been breaking big and everything. I started laughing. I'm like, fucking Summoner Circle, man. What the fuck,
Yeah.
dude? But it tripped me out, like, that I walked into just a random fucking Walgreens and, like, that even happened, like, what the fuck, man? Like, because I still think about it as if it's not even that big, but actually, I think it's a lot bigger than what I think it is,
The Metal Fest?
Yeah, all of it, man. Yeah,
yeah. No, you guys got something big going on. Probably the biggest on the East Coast, definitely. In compared to Rockville and all that, I mean, dude, it's anyway with social media presence. That is, man. I mean, you guys got this social media presence. Like, if I wasn't following the page, I'd still see it because of the bands that I follow. So it's making its way across the metal radar, if you know what I mean.
Fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Well, tell us, like, as far as some of your songs, man, can you give us an idea of, like, your lyrical concepts and themes and stuff like that, man? Like, what's some of the stories behind these songs, man?
That is,
Scorpio. We'll go with that one for starters.
Oh boy. Man, that one, I mean, it wasn't like directed towards anybody in general. And honestly, I just chose the name Scorpio because I thought it sounded cool, to do that. But like, yeah, Scorpio is, it's just, it's like you got your heart broken and that's the angry song of the group. That was meant to be like the angry song that if you're angry that day, you turn that song on, hey, you can relate to this. That's all it is. It's not that we're mad at the world or anything. It's like just to give something that's relatable to people, that they can listen to those lyrics and be like, and then once the song's done, that can be a release for them,
Hell yeah.
So that's the purpose of that one. And then Deceiver, man, is like right off the bat, blackened ways. Like it's basically about wolves in sheep's clothing, which like the business suits that are corrupt. Not all are, but it's just all the media and all the higher ups out there and and all these people that and especially and with politics, dude. I'm a firm believer in government, but man, I am not a fan of politics. Let's just say that. So
me either, man.
So, but let's see, what's the next one? One of the ones on the EP is also called Bayou Bounty. That one, I'm a big Clint Eastwood fan, so I was like, look, we need a Western themed metal song. And so whenever that comes out, you guys will know what I mean. We got some slide guitar in there, and
oh hell yeah, dude.
And like the one of the first set of lyrics is gun slinging west down and southbound, which is basically talking about down out west and just the cowboy era. It's just the whole thing's like a cowboy feel, like an outlaw. It's basically about an outlaw on the run. Nobody really knows why he's breaking the law, but he has a story, and but everybody knows his name now. So once the song releases, it'll all make more sense. But that one I'm really excited about because it's different, dude. It has, like I said, it was inspired because I'm a big Clint Eastwood fan, so I just wanted something that has like a cowboy outlaw kind of era feel to it.
Yeah, hey man, Clint Eastwood, dude. That's all you had to say, man. Fucking that's hell yeah, dude.
Josie Wales or something, yeah, man.
I like that shit too, man.
So, and then let's see, actually the very first song on the record is Lunacy. Now, Lunacy, there's a racing team, and I'm just giving them a shout out because they're just awesome people, and it's going to be an awesome music video that they actually agreed to come out to. It's a place in Georgia called Georgia Off-Road Adventures. And so I don't know if anybody knows what like a Polaris Razor is or a Can-Am, like the big side-by-side things. I have a racing history with those, and I used to do videography for like off-road racers and stuff like that.
No shit.
So I had a connection with a racing team, and so we found a day that, well, while we're out testing and they have sponsors and stuff, so they were out there for a sponsor ride. And they also made time to do a music video with the band. So Lunacy, because the name of the racing team is Lunatic Racing. Lunacy is basically a song about racing. It's like, pedal to the metal, don't give up. It's one of those metal songs that are uplifting. Like it's real high octane. You'll just have to hear it, man. When it comes out, it's something to listen to. It's different, too. It's different. I make sure every single song we write has its own unique factor to it.
That's cool as fuck, man. Hell yeah. I can't wait to hear that shit, dude.
Yeah, I'm eager to see the reaction it gets, because, man, that's what I'm like. I don't want to release anything that I'm like, like this has been done before. Like, I'm trying to release stuff that is so unique, people will be like, okay, this is really different,
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Well, you know what? Everything that I've heard from you guys so far, it definitely is like its own thing. Like, like I don't know. I know I was saying that you remind me of some of those bands, but like it's definitely got its own fucking sound. It's got its own feel, and that's really cool, man. That's something that's really hard. I think it's really, really hard to do in this day and age. Like, I mean, there's so much stuff out there, and there's, I mean, fuck, man. Metal's been around for a long time,
and we've accepted that, man. We've accepted that, there's, competition, I guess you could call it. But that's the thing is I don't see this as we're going up against competition, Like I said, I have a racing background, but when it comes to the art of the music, that's all I care about, dude. It's like we're doing this because we like it. This is what we are. This is what we like. And so what I do is like I love the 80s stuff, the other guitarists, everybody, we all love the 80s stuff. So it's we have that, the way I put it is we have that 80s tone with original songs, basically.
Hell yeah. Well, speaking of tone, man, I got a lot of gear fucking nerds that are fucking listening to the show. They want to know like what kind of stuff you're using. And I know I've seen you talking about that orange fucking Super Crush, man. Can you tell us, give us a rundown of your rigs? Like what are you guys using, man, to get these sounds?
So, all right, I know. So I'm going to start off like this. Since we don't have a bass player live, the other guitarist, he has more of like the bassy tone and more heavy on the bass and the mids, and then I'm more the treble side. So that way, it kind of sounds fuller but still defined, and it kind of makes up for that lack of a deep end there, which I say that, but the way we write, I mean, don't get me wrong, a bass player live, we will be getting there at some point, but still, these are very guitar-based songs when we write, so it still sounds incredible. let me see here. How do I want to put this? Like I said, he's like the deep bass tone with his guitar, and then I'm the treble side. So I know he plays with a Marshall. I don't know the exact. It might be an MG series, which those get a lot of mixed reviews. But personally, he's making it sound good. So, and plus, it's a solid state. And I love tube amps, but reliability-wise, solid state is the way to go if you want to make sure things are going to work. And that's kind of why when I got that orange Super Crush, that is, for me, that is the closest thing to a tube amp for a solid state sound amp that can give a tube sound. Like, that's the closest I've ever got, and I loved it. But not only that, like, because I run a Boss, it's called a ST2 Power Stack. Just recently got one of those and fell in love with it. I run that into the input of the orange Super Crush, and I leave the orange Super Crush on clean because there's parts, where we have to switch to clean on a dime. And it's actually the clean channel of the orange amp that sold me, because with the reverb and just how smooth it is, it's balanced well. The EQ's balanced well, and I just fell in love with it right off the bat. And it was only like $500, and I was like, okay. I can't beat this sound for this price. So I got it, and it's been good to me ever since.
Hell yeah, man. That's really cool that you say all that, because there's a lot of people out there that are listening, and there's a lot of young people that are trying to get into playing and stuff, and not everybody can afford the fucking, the big monster tube amps and stuff, but like, a lot of the solid state stuff is a little bit more affordable, but like you're validating the fact that it does fucking sound good and you can get good sounds out of it, and like you said, it's reliable, so that's really cool, man. Yeah,
and there might be people that disagree with me when I say this.
Yeah. Well, of course, there's a
this is what I feel like is, nothing. I mean, a tube amp is nothing. You can't get a solid state that sounds just exactly like a tube amp. Like, the frequencies are different and all that. Plus the tube amps, the louder you go, the better they sound. I totally get that. I will say this: where I have seen that tube amps really shine is like hard rock, like AC/DC or any kind of blues. I feel like tube amps really stand out more versus a solid state when people are playing that kind and are looking for that natural overdrive feel.
Mm-hmm.
But with metal and distortion, and granted, again, I know, like, if you got a Laney Ironheart amp and, it's those things are tube amps, they sound incredible. But you can get still an incredible sound out of a solid state, especially, like I said, I got a Boss ST2 Power Stack, and I was also using a Metal Zone before that. Both those sound incredible going through the solid state orange amp. And then also I will point out that for a half stack, I have a Behringer half stack that I bought used from a friend of a friend, and supposedly it has Celestian silvers. He said something like that. I still have to take the back off and see exactly what model Celestian speakers they are, but they are aftermarket speakers, and so that thing can really handle the orange amp full crank, and so it's loud, man. It has a great tone, and yeah. So I mean, just for anybody out there listening, I mean, you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars for this. This is where the opinions will come in for this genre, because really, there's pedals. These distortion pedals nowadays are so advanced. You can come really, really close to getting the sound you want, like out of a tube amp from a solid state.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I mean, I play too, and my favorite fucking tone that I've gotten so far is a Metal Zone used as a boost pedal. Like, I keep the distortion all the way down, just turn the level all the way up, keep the fucking tone at 12 o'clock, and, just use it just as a boost into a fucking solid state fucking distortion, and it fucking sounds great, man, and like, yeah, man, I mean, fucking Dimebag used fucking solid state, I mean, like, what the fuck,
yeah.
Dude?
And hey, that's why I said, look, if he liked it, I'll give it a shot. And at that orange amp made me a firm believer. Like, I was like, okay, this is probably what Dime was saying. Like, he, because, well, he had like a scooped mids type deal going on, and I think those solid state it was a solid state Randall, I think he was using, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
he had EQs and all kinds of stuff. Like,
So do I. I have an MXR. I should also say that I have an MXR 10-band EQ.
hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I mean that's all you need, man. You can do it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you probably wouldn't even need the EQ, but like I said, I like having the treble a little bit higher and then the other guitarist being a little bit on the lower side, so that way we kind of even each other out, and it sounds good. So, but yeah, man, I think those Metal Zone pedals, over the years got a bad name because
Yeah, they did.
Here's the thing. If you take the time to take, because their knobs are like stacked on each other, so you got a knob on top of a knob. Like there's a lot of things you can do, and if you understand what does what, you can dial those things in very well.
Oh yeah,
and it's great. But here's where the bad name comes in: is people, let's say a 10-year-old kid just bought it and has never heard distortion in his life and wants to make a YouTube video about it, goes and plugs it up and just cranks the knobs. That's not going to sound good,
Right.
But if you dial those things in, and dude, they sound fantastic. You can make them sound terrible if you want to each their own, I guess. But if you take the time and do it right, they can sound however you want to make them sound. They are so versatile. And I work at a music store, man. I tell people that all the time. It's like, look, you can't go wrong with this if you're looking for a distortion pedal, because you can adjust the level of distortion, the mids, everything. So
actually I was going to say also, if you use that as your primary distortion signal and just run it into like the effects loop of an amp and just bypass everything, just let that motherfucker be the main motherfucker in there, it'll fucking do it, man. But you gotta tweak it right. But I mean, like, yeah, you're right. A lot of kids, man, they'll get that pedal, they'll put it in the front end, and they'll turn everything up, and then turn the gain up on the amp too, and it's just like, it's fucking fried, man. It's like,
yeah, and I'm not, of course, I was one of those kids starting out, but I'm just saying, like, now people. My point was, people that don't know exactly how to dial those in and just make a video about it will give it a bad name, because if it's up on YouTube or something, it's not just because a YouTube video is up doesn't mean it's a good video, So, what's that guy's, Ola England, I think is his name. He's the kind of the one that said, look, I'm going to tell you right now, the Metal Zone is not a bad pedal.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching that. I'm like, okay, well, let me see what he's doing. And I did it. I was like, yeah, this is just fine,
Yeah, he did. He made a good video with it, man. I watched that shit too. Love Ola, dude. He's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, dude. He's interesting. He's fun to watch.
Man, that was cool as fuck the other day. I don't know if you saw, but on his Swola fucking episode, he was saying that when he went to see Pantera, Phil actually told him that he was actually on the list of potential people, for them to call to do this tour, and that just like blew his mind. And I know that's got to mean a lot to him, man, because he's really been. I mean, he's a huge Pantera fucking fan.
Yeah, man. Well, and he deserves it too, because people don't realize, man, that takes a lot of dedication just to make YouTube videos, dude. I mean, to make the quality videos he does and show that kind of dedication, like, man, he would definitely deserve something like that. And I tell people this, dude, it's the digital era.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like it or not, evolution is a thing. And if it was the 80s, I tell people all the time, I would have loved to at least get a sample of what it was like to live in the 80s, because back then, you couldn't buy just single songs. You bought whole records for maybe just one or two songs that were on them, But now that it's digital, everybody's online, and it's about online content. And Ola really has done a great job with that, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do with Crazy Mad Ride. And I'm also starting up my own solo project, which is strictly, I just planned for it to be strictly digital releases only. That way, because it feeds my rock and roll. My solo project's more rock and roll, and I'm like, I don't want to do that to Crazy Mad Ride, because like Crazy Mad Ride is thrash metal, man. Like we're metal. But my solo project is like just to feed the rock and roll side. But my point is the opportunities and just the artistic side of it is endless because you can release it and it's awesome just to see people's reaction to it. Just like that, man, because it's on the internet just like that. So pros and cons to the digital era, but that's definitely where we're at, and I guess you have to hop on board to stay relevant, you know?
Yeah, it is definitely a different beast, man. You know, like I grew up in the 80s, and I can tell you, you know, when I was a kid, a lot of times I went to the record store, and a lot of albums that I picked up, I didn't even hear anything on them. It was simply the album art or what I'd read about them in a magazine or something, you know, like something that piqued my interest. And when I saw it at the record store, it was like, okay, fuck it, you know, I'll get this and check it out, you know. But like once you had that money invested into it, you felt you felt the need to actually listen to every fucking song on it, really dig into it, read the lyrics, read the liner notes, all that shit, you know, and just like really dig into it. And yeah. I mean, you know, like, so, you know, it was hit or miss, you know, sometimes some stuff wasn't as great as others, but like,
well, they use that as that was a lot of times I feel like, if it was either the label's idea or the artist's maybe idea, or just, you know, or they just knew that in that time period, we'll make a few good songs and then the rest will just kind of get the album, because they had time limits back then, you know, the labels, they said, all right, well, this needs to be done by this time, you know? So they would write some great songs or whatever. And I feel like a lot of bands would put filler songs on there because they knew they will have to buy this record anyways to hear the hits that are on it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you though, man, like 9 times out of 10, it was usually the songs that were not the singles. Like as far as like when I would go grab a Wasp record or a Motley Crue or something like that, it was the songs that were that weren't the singles that really blew my mind. Like it's funny, you know, like looking back on it now. But I understand like why they put out the specific songs that they did, because they were catchy and for whatever reason, you know. But I mean, like, yeah, there's. But I know what you're saying too.
Yeah, and you know, I just like to talk because you brought up one of my favorite. I should have said. I can't believe I didn't say that to begin with. But like another big band that has influenced me that I love is Wasp. And I don't know how recent this interview was. It was probably the 2010s or possibly even recently this year. Who knows? But I saw an interview with Blackie Lawless. He was just reflecting on how brutal the labels were back in the 80s. They made sure you got paid and you made it big, but man, he said the labels were brutal. So, you know, how much say he had versus what the labels, you know, so putting out that product, you know, it's a product, you know, back then especially is, hey, we're just making a product, you know, if you guys want to make it, we're going to put it. Now, Wasp still made fantastic music. I'm not saying they half-assed anything or anything like that, because they didn't, but, you know, as like I said, is a lot of it was, you know, making material to fill a record, you know, make sure there's a few hits on it, and then send it. And, you know, honestly, I would have, if it was possible, I would go back in time and maybe have a sample of like 5 years in the 80s and see what we do in 5 years in the 80s versus 5 years now. But, you know, you can't think too much like that. But just because of how different of a time it was is like, because, dude, I love vinyl records. Vinyl records, like, I love them. Like, I collect them. You know, I got Megadeth. I actually have some Wasp vinyl records. So the 80s would have been my jam for sure. But, yeah. But hey, I will say this, and we're going to get some Crazy Mad Ride vinyl records made too.
Oh, man, that'd be bad fucking ass, dude. First day buyer right here, man. Fucking as soon as it's announced.
You got it, man. Actually, I mean, heck, dude, I'll just send it to you. You guys have the fact you guys, man. I'm grateful you guys chose us for the Tennessee Metal Fest, because, you know, there's a lot of great bands out there that put in hard work. So, you know, and I'm not one of those guys that are like, oh yeah, we deserve this, and these other bands don't deserve it. Like, this day and age, like I said, digital era. This day and age, there's so many bands. So if we get chosen for something, dude, I remain grateful, and, you know, I just continue to make badass music. Or we can. I should say we. You know, I just, because we all three of us together, man. Yeah, it's we make some pretty wicked stuff.
You guys do, man. You guys do, and you make an impression, man. Fucking, and that's what That's yeah, in today's age with everything, man, there's so much all the time, man. It's just nonstop. Everybody's coming out of the fucking woodwork, fucking doing something, so and I know, you don't want to feel like you're in a competition or anything like that, but like it definitely, it helps when you have something that just stands out and it fucking stands on its own, and you guys do that, man. So big props to you, man.
Yeah, man, and I appreciate that. Yeah, it's all about balance, you definitely, there's the industry side and then there's the art side. It's like you got to find that balance to where, we do need to sell. We do need to make sure people like this. So, but we also want to stay true to ourselves.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, I'm about out of questions for you, man. Is there anything else you want to let the people know?
Probably what everybody should say. Thank you for the support. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music. There's probably another couple there, but just stay tuned with us because we got this EP coming out, and it's really going to be a good one.
Hell yeah! You guys got any shows coming up?
Actually, tomorrow night at His Rock Music in Cumming, Georgia, and then after that, let's see, what's a big one? What's another? We have an out-of-state one at I can't remember the name. It's in South Carolina though. That one is yeah, dude, there's so many. I'd have to have something in front of me. But if you follow us on Facebook, we are constantly posting gig updates. So that's the place to go. So if anybody is interested just from listening to this, go to Facebook, go to Instagram, follow us because we post all our updates right on there.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, before I let you go, can I get you to make us a station tag real quick?
Yeah, man. What do I need to say or?
Whenever you're ready, say something like, "This is Crazy Mad Ride, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio." However you want to say it.
You got it, man. Right now, or?
Yeah, go whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay, my good, dude. What's up, guys? This is Crazy Mad Ride, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Fuck yeah, man. All right, well, dude, thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to us, man, and we can't wait to see you guys live October 14th, man.
Sounds good, man. We can't wait to be there. Thanks for having us.
Hell yeah, dude. Cheers.
Cheers, dude. See ya.
There you have it, folks. Crazy Mad Ride live on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation motherfucking radio. Like I said earlier, put your speakers in your fucking windows, put them in your front lawns. Do whatever you gotta do. Crank your fucking stereo system as loud as it will go and make everybody go fucking absolutely insane. This is Crazy Mad Ride.
Worldwide game